Lessons of Sapo and listening in. Man, I wanted to do this conversation and share just some things that are going on that I believe have to be addressed because many individuals are out here, they referring to themselves as conscious, but they're really giving you know our people a lot of confusion. And so I thought that at this particular time, it's certainly is the opportune time for those who are well balanced and have a good foundation to raise up uh, another level of consciousness, shall I say, because unfortunately we live in a time where individuals are misleading, and it's very unfortunate. And so I just been seeing a lot of different things going on, and many people have, for whatever reason, put me in this category. And so I felt the need, and to really bring a full scope in terms of certain look at my development or lack of thereof, as well as understanding that individuals are actually losing their minds, losing their black minds, based upon some of the things I say, individuals are saying, and you know, individuals. What I've seen, individuals have not necessarily had that well-rounded leadership that is absolutely missing. Individuals, for whatever reason, haven't gone through a process for intellectual development, as well as positioning themselves to serve our elders, as well as serving our youth properly. Now, what do I mean by that? Individuals have to show some respect, for our elders before you actually believe that you can push them out of the way, right? And what do I mean by that? Unfortunately, we have individuals in our community that have taken a more selfish approach to life, and it's actually a more Eurocentric type of aspiration, where individuals haven't attempted to collaborate and cooperate in a holistic method for those who have come before us. And what do I mean by that? I see people that are out here talking, and they don't have any connection to any elders within the community. We recently did something in the Baltimore area for some elders that are very well meaning. They have served to our community. Did any of these so-called Hotep Negroes show up in Baltimore? It was a Malcolm X Day event. Did any of these, so-called conscious people do any lectures, doing lectures and talking? And no, they just want to do another lecture and have you come out, spend a couple dollars, and talk about the same things you heard for 5, 10, 15 years, right? So I just think that a lot of that is a waste of time, and unfortunately, many of them feel that they can't support uh, our elders properly, right? They want to get it all for themselves at a particular time. And so that's what, for instance, I'm dealing with in Baltimore. And let me just give this example of the levels of insanity that individuals are experiencing. Um, we need holistic scholars and unfortunately, I'm the only one qualified right now, and with the balance levels of success, as well as consciousness, as well as broadness, where I can actually speak intellectually in a confident manner with my own credentials to say that I've achieved a level of, of, uh, of shall I say, healing within our community, first and foremost, and uplifting our community, as well as, saving lives. It's not a single individual out here that can say that they have uh, truly impacted a core group of, 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 of our community more than myself. Now, not when I say a core group, I'm also speaking about quality individuals. Now, you have individuals out here who perhaps are getting, various levels of speaking engagements. But unfortunately, they're not in a very respectable position, right, where they can influence the various dynamics of power within the society, right? They're not. They haven't connected to the institutions that are in place to leverage these power dynamics. Uh, and of course, some individuals are just foolish, with their talents and foolish with their treasures. There's individuals running around, telling people that it's okay to buy $1,000 belts and $2,000 shoes. And I'm just like, I'm thinking in a bigger scheme of freedom and healing, and holistic health and empowerment. Some of these individuals are simply they're becoming very useless. They're very useless to our community. Um, and I just give examples of individuals that are mature, and have made tens of millions of dollars, and you don't see them running around, yelling, screaming, jumping up and down, being a juvenile, acting like Lil Wayne or one of these other rappers out here, spending money frivolously that is going to go eventually because you don't have the character. Because when you don't have the character of a wealthy individuals, that's more essential, because there are a lot of insane degenerates that actually get various levels of money, but they're not necessarily mature enough to know how to deal with it. Lottery players, people that inherit, something, and unfortunately, many of us, within our community, we tend to, have a poverty consciousness, and we're ignorant. We don't read books like uh, Dr. Dennis Kimbro's book, The Wealth Choice, or we don't read the books of The Millionaire Next Door, or uh, the Millionaire Mindset, uh, the Millionaires for Women. So there's different books that talks about what actually millionaires actually how actually millionaires live. So when you have individuals out here that are, attempting to project this stupid image to ignorant, poor, inner city Black people, people that don't necessarily have a education, right? They don't have an education, and they don't have the family dynamics, and they may not necessarily get the stolen money or the drug money or whatever the individuals how they get their money to, reach a certain level. They may look at someone, a regular, what they perceive as a regular person, or a hardworking, thinking, reading, organizing advocate. And let me just make it plain, because I don't want people to get it twisted about the poverty conscious activists out here. So I'm not necessarily uh, instructing individuals to live this vow of poverty, but assets and ownership, and not necessarily wearing your money on your behind is what truly wealthy people do. So it may take some of you, I know people are watching YouTube all the time, so uh, unfortunately, many people are not reading today. So people are gravitating towards this kind of things, and what I'm seeing, it's almost like a hodgepodge, if you will. Just like, for instance, and there was someone else talking about how they have transformed, talked to more parents than anyone else. And I'm just like, how have your message been heard more than Malcolm X's, right? How have your words been heard more than Naeem Akbar, right? Now I know people are, YouTube fanatics, and sometimes it may appear on some levels that individuals are doing more. They think that they're doing more because, but from a qualitative, individuals going to have to transform themselves, right? It's not going to be through a soundbite from a YouTube clip. I mean, some people can change, but there are different types of learners. So that's essential. But when you have individuals indoctrinating conscious individuals, and really enslaving our people who have been abused in this system based upon racism, uh, I have to raise it up. I have to raise up and challenge these, this hip hop mentality that unfortunately individuals have allowed to go on within our community. And so, with that being said, I will say that progress is being made on my end. Got some phenomenal things coming up. Connecting the dots, we did have a Malcolm X Day dynamic, and I'm going to be moving to a different level now. I've served and supported many different organizations and youth and individuals, and different leaders, shall I say. But now it's like, when you have put in the more relevant work out here, you studied the right sources, and you connected with many different institutions and individuals over time, I certainly can affirmatively say that, I've given every core individual the opportunity. And so as you reach a particular stage, and some people don't want to wait and go through those processes, those step-by-step developmental processes, which in African tradition, you are supposed to go through a process, a rites, if you will. And unfortunately, many of the elders are not functional enough to offer any challenges to younger, more egocentric young people that desire to just overshadow the elders who may not have developed their, whatever, if you want to call, not necessarily a following, because many of these elders have great support and they can articulate and they've done some phenomenal work. But maybe they're not infusing, they haven't infused the whole rap phenomenon into their scholarship, right? So that's what you have right now, where individuals are infusing uh, rap culture, the rap mentality, wearing hats to the side, and so now what's going on is the real conscious scholars out here are being perceived as squares, or we're not going to listen to you. You don't have the $1,000 pair of shoes, or you don't have your hat tilted to the side, or you don't use the N word on video. You don't curse, huh? So this is where what we are going to need, and what I've learned from an organizational perspective is solid core communities. And this is what I learned actually, in a real community, a real African-centered community, of what systems you need in place to ensure that at the center of these communities is uh, character and integrity. And I don't have the book. Maybe it's upstairs, but Center, the book. Yes, it's a good book by Baruti. Yes, it's a very good book. So I will say that for those that are out here that are recognizing, because I may not necessarily do too many of these, but power moves are going to be made for those that are ready to stay connected and go to another level. Uh, I've wised up in terms of where I need to be. So without further ado, I say I just had Brother Hakeem out of Philadelphia, Black and Nobel Room last night. That video will be uploaded. I did an interview with him on eLife Media. Let me make sure that that's going to be sent. So definitely that's going to be sent, uploaded. See if it's tomorrow. But again, it's time for real leaders. If you are in the DMV area or wherever you are, stay connected to the rise of the Success Scholar Power Moves being made over this month. It's just going to explode. I've really focused my efforts and focused my knowledge, and really have a better plan for empowerment at this particular time. So for those that are ready to go to another level, stay connected. We are manifesting a true movement, a true growth, holistic, well-rounded, well put together movement for freedom, empowerment, and true liberation. So at this particular time, I have the more sophisticated, empowered model out here of any teacher, leader, speaker, scholar. So just stay connected. We're going to another level. I'm out. Peace.